Hello everyone, it's the 49th Gunner back again. Happy tonight, happy to talk to you guys about a great result, a stressful result in the second half especially. But yeah, first of all, before I talk about the game, we beat Sevilla. That's fantastic. I want to talk about Jose Reyes. He was a big name, you know, at Sevilla, and it was a big name for the Arsenal. And the tributes I saw them do for Jose Reyes, it was absolutely brilliant to see. I saw a lot of, you know, talks about him on the internet, and the fact that they've really gone out of their way to sort of show their respects to Reyes, rest in peace, was absolutely brilliant. So I'm very, very happy, and I wanted to say that was a lovely tribute to a fantastic Arsenal player and a big name in Spain, you know, so it was lovely to see the tribute. I'll say that first off. Some of the names in the Sevilla squad, a game I'd particularly wanted to go and see. I particularly wanted to go and see Sevilla as a football fan. I mean, some of the names they've got in there, they've got Sergio Ramos, Rakitic, Navas. Ramos in particular, he's one of my sort of old, he's one of the names, you sort of just associate names like, you know, Maldini, Paul Scholes, you know, Ramos is one of them names, you know, and I would have loved to have been there myself tonight to actually see Ramos play at the age of 37. They're the oldest average age team in the Champions League. They've got an average age in their squad of 31. And before the game started, I was thinking to myself, we're going to go out there, we're going to absolutely, you know, outpace them. Martinelli on the wing, Saka across on the other wing. There's going to be so much pace, but that really was not the case. The first half was, there isn't really too much to report from the first half. The first half was shaky, it was slow, there were 35 minutes gone and there was one shot from Arsenal, none from Sevilla. How, obviously I was listening to it on the radio, how it had become that case with such a pacey team against sort of an old guard, obviously an old experienced team, but, you know, with the older legs, I thought we were going to completely and utterly outpace them, but that really was not the situation, you know. The first half was a bit of a write-off from both clubs. I think Sevilla defended very well. Arsenal didn't really get too much of anything going in the first half. It was a bit of a null and void half. I think the second half is where the game sort of really started. You know, the second half is kind of like 45 minutes of football. The second half, both Sevilla and Arsenal came out of the blocks. Absolutely fantastic work from both teams. I think Sevilla put so much pressure. They had so much possession throughout the entire game, and I think it's just it's a shame for us. I'm obviously it's a Brazilian party in Spain. You know, it's fantastic for Martinelli and Jesus to both play so well. But it's a shame. I think we could have maybe got a few more. Obviously, with the other game being a draw versus PSV versus Lens, that's a huge result for us. We're top of the group now, but I think maybe we could have been a bit more fiery. We could have, you know, we could have scored a few more, but that's to be really picky. That's to be really old man Arsenal about it. I'm ecstatic for Martinelli. Martinelli's goal was great. It was first Champions League goal, but more so impressive than the goal was Jesus' like Cruyff turn. He's basically done a Cruyff turn. He's taken two of the Sevilla players basically out of the game, sent them to the shops, and played a ball through to Martinelli. Martinelli's managed to get his first goal based off a brilliant assist. And then a short while after, in the second half, we had an absolutely fantastic goal scored from Jesus. Jesus has got the goal, he's got the assist. On paper, you'd say Jesus was the man of the match. But for me, although his goal was fantastic, sort of took it into the area, hit it. Nobody really knew what he was going to do, and he's hit it right into the top corner. It's a great goal. But for me, my man of the match, obviously the goal scorers are always going to get the main praise. I'd say Tomiyasu and Rice, Captain Rice, Niles' favourite player to compliment. Tomiyasu, firstly, was everywhere. You could play him left back, right back, centre back. I know we all know that, but Tomiyasu can play anywhere defensively and put in a performance that you'd want for your club. Tomiyasu is brilliant. He has to stay around to help. I mean, because he's so versatile, you can't say, oh, he should always play at right back, he should always play at left back. We're fortunate with Zinni, we're fortunate with Ben White, we're fortunate with our centre backs, you know, we're fortunate with our defence collectively, but he comes in, fits in well, and can slot in anywhere. If you found out that he was playing at right back, if there was a little niggly injury, you know, with one of our centre backs, you'd be like, oh, awesome, Tomiyasu's got it. And that's the thing with Tomiyasu. He's such a versatile player, and that sort of versatility for him, I believe he is probably the most versatile player we've had in a very, very long time. Yeah, so I'm very, very impressed. I personally will say the Nile man of the match goes to Tomiyasu. I want to give that award to him. Rice, I mentioned Rice earlier. Rice, to drop off so well. He's already scored that fantastic goal against Chelsea. He shows he can attack. He shows he can score goals from different angles. I know that's a different game, but in this game, he showed his defensive work. He showed why we're all comparing him to Patrick Vieira. He'll put in the attacks. He'll put in the defence. He could obviously tell that the defence was shaky, because it was. That half was dominated by constant, you know, pressure from Sevilla, who played absolutely fantastically. They had a young 20-year-old who came on. I can't remember his name, but he was absolutely brilliant. Had a real good battle with Trossard when Trossard came on, you know, and they've certainly got a great collective, you know, bunch of players at that squad. And I hope Sevilla do really well. I know they've only got 2 wins this season, and I really hope they pick it up and do well, you know. They're a club that deserve to be, much like I said about Lens, they're a club that deserve to be doing well. They deserve to be where they are. They deserve to be picking up points in the league, and I really wish Sevilla, you know, a whole lot of luck. They should have scored. I don't really want to do it, but I have to whinge. We've got Raya. The first name I saw, obviously, at the top of the sheet for Arsenal was Raya. My first thought wasn't, Champions League night. It was, Raya. And at the end of the game, Raya looked awful. Looked like he couldn't hack the pressure. He nearly punched one in his own net. He doesn't... give me my Ramsdale back. I might start a campaign. I don't know, maybe make myself a big poster of me cuddling Ramsdale, you know, take it around the Emirates and march around. Give me my keeper back. I want to see Ramsdale in goal. I want to see Ramsdale back where he belongs. He takes the edge off. A thing with him is he takes so much pressure away from the defenders. I think he's so much calmer than Raya is. And Raya is you know, he's got great stats, but I want to see my boy. I want to see Ramsdale. I don't want to make this too much of a whingy night, because obviously we've got the Brazilian party, the mighty Jesus, the mighty Martinelli. You know, we've got this brilliant thing to be happy about, and I'm still sat here whinging about Raya. But we all know, I think, I don't care what anybody says, I would put Ramsdale in goal every single day of the week. And you can argue with me, you can sit there and say he's got clean sheets for us and all that. Look at what Ramsdale did for us last season. Some of them results, some of them wins. The win against Leicester, for instance. Ramsdale was the reason we got some of them points. He was a point-winning keeper for us last season. And he's fantastic. I love Ramsdale. I want him to be 20 years' time, an old man sitting there. Well, an old man sort of like similar to my age, you know. I'm not exactly young, so an old man of my sort of age to be like, oh, you know, I did this, I achieved that at the club, you know. I want him to be that kind of player, like how David Seaman is. He's highly, you know, loved by the Arsenal fans, you know, and you regularly see him around. You know, he helped with the goalkeeping training, David Seaman. And I want that to be how, you know, Ramsdale ends up. But that's my whinge. That's my whinge. Yeah, so Trossard played well in his cameo. Jesus took the armband from Odegaard. Odegaard didn't look himself. He hasn't looked himself for quite a while. And it's strange to say that about Odegaard, a guy. I mean, I didn't get him on my shirt for no reason. Odegaard is a fantastic player collectively. He was quite wasteful. There was a moment where I thought he'd scored the second goal and he smashed what sounded like an easy one over the bar. And he's not really playing, you know, sort of his usual brilliant self. But it shows how great he is, because when players that are really, really good don't play well, you notice it straight away. I'm not going to slate Odegaard. I'm not going to say anything too bad about him, you know, obviously, because he's Odegaard. He's been brilliant for us, game in, game out for a long time. Just today, it wasn't really, you know, firing all cylinders for him, you know. Eddie as well. Eddie came on for Saka. Saka laying on the floor, holding his leg. I don't know what the medical staff are doing, but they can't be helping out Saka too much because he's always bloody injured. Saka makes me worry. He stresses me out. I want Saka to be trying his best, playing whole games, firing on all cylinders. And yeah, so yeah, the away fans going mad for Trossard, shouting Leo. That was nice to see. We all love Leo, and Leo's going to be like Podolski was. He's going to be that super sub. I would like to see him getting more time on, but who does he come on for? You know, Martinelli's brilliant for us, and Martinelli, now he's back from injury, you know, who does he come on for? But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much just the general summary. You know, the end of the game was shaky. We need to learn from that game. We've got quite a few away games coming up, so we're going to have quite a lot of that sort of pressure on us in following games, but I'm really happy. So a Brazilian night in Spain is a happy gooner over here. So yeah, that's sort of my overall summary of the game. Not too much to talk about the second half. Nervy, but some brilliant goals to make up for it, you know. So come on, you Gunners. Thank you if you've watched this. I appreciate it. Cheers, guys. Come on, Arsenal. On to the next one.